Well, good morning. How are we today? Come on down. Well, these are what our members will receive this afternoon, and if you want to check out what we're doing, and this is what came in. Respond with love. These are our new bumper stickers. I'll tell you the story of this is, there's a movement out there called resist, and that's one way of responding, is resisting, and just going a metaphysical step beyond that is responding with love. And I have had one on these on my car for the last a month or so since I got back from Asilomar. They gave these away at the Asilomar conference, and it's interesting the looks you get from some people because, that people are like, respond with love, It's frustrating to have to respond with love as they go by you, but, we're just putting out love. It's about love. So I hope you can stay for the membership meeting, even if you're not a member, to see what we're all up to here, because we're a loving community, and we're so glad you're here. So this month is on back to school, back to cool school, right? Back to cool school, because we all went to some sort of schooling. I mean, you learn to read, write, and write checks and put money in a bank. No, they didn't teach that in school. No, okay. Well, somehow you figured some of that out, or some of us are still figuring that stuff out, right? Okay. But that was like the basics of being here on this planet. Your parents, their only job was to get you here, and they're done with that. So if you're blaming them for anything else, which happens, I get it, but I'm just saying they got you here safely, and the rest is up to you once you learn how to respond with love. And and sometimes it takes lifetimes, I tell you. But then we get into we go to college, or we go to, a trade school, or we do something to learn something else beside the basics. And, I didn't do very well in school. I barely got out of high school. My parents had to bribe me. My sister and brother were going to Hawaii right in June, right? And they said, if you want to go to Hawaii with your brother and sister, you're going to have to finish high school. And I was getting 5 D's and an F at the time. And I applied myself and graduated with 5 A's and a B. Yeah. Well, of course, I went to my counselor. I told him what I was up to, and they changed some of my classes with me, because I was in these classes that weren't, it was difficult. So we found classes that worked better for the way I learn. I suffered from a challenge that's known, or the symptoms of dyslexia, and I used to, not want to read or write or anything. So once I learned that you could hear stuff and learn that way, I was in, But I have learned to read. Yes, I did get through ministerial school. Once I got into ministerial school, I was like, this is what I want to do. So all of a sudden I was like, Harry Potter, and, let's learn this stuff. Anyway, today's talk is called Expectancy. And I know we didn't receive any of the handouts today. And I know several of you were concerned that we weren't going to have church today because you didn't receive the handouts. But we're saving the planet one half sheet at a time. We're trying to reduce our footprint here. So I think you'd be proud of that. But expectancy. What do you expect to see? What do you expect? Expectation has been called premeditated disappointment at times. If you are expecting a certain situation to happen, that you banked on it happening that way, and it doesn't happen that way, and you're let down. It happens. I mean, we have expectations, don't we? So we need to put our expectations on the journey, not the destination. We need to have fun en route to having fun. Because this is the calm before the calm. This is getting better and better, no matter what the appearance may look like. So, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're absolutely right, whichever way you choose to be. And that's from Henry Ford, actually. That's a quote from Henry Ford. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So which side of the equation do you live on? And I'll say I used to live on one side, and then I lived on both sides of the fence, right? And then when I realized that because of what I was expecting to happen, that it was, in quantum physics, we're taught that the observer is influencing the experience. This is why we observe with love. Because if we observe with hurt or hate or fear or challenge, we're putting that into what we're observing, and it reflects that back to us. This is how metaphysics works. If we expect a challenge, the universe always says yes. If we expect to prosper, the universe always says yes. So where are we? And again, this isn't to say you're this and you're that. It's just to check in with where we are, because we can't get to where we want to be if we don't know where we are. You know, if you're lost, stay where you are. Don't get more lost, right? But sometimes we have to get a little bit more lost to figure out where we are. We have to look around and get our boundaries. We have to get some sort of a marker that will tell us if we can even know where we are. And I'll tell you, if you don't know where you are, God knows where the heck you are. And when we count on that, it will bring us where we are. So, how are you doing? When somebody says, "How are you doing?" And of course you go, "I'm great." You know, sometimes we're not, but we don't want to bring other people down. And there's times when you're not feeling great that you need to talk to somebody about that. We need to see a practitioner or call our mentor or, maybe call a therapist if we're, there's people out there that can help us. Find someone that you can talk to about whatever you're walking through. But when people ask me how I'm doing, I say better and better. Better and better. Because even if I'm not feeling that great, and I've called somebody about not feeling that great, I want to feel better and better. I mean, that's how I know I'm not doing well, is that I feel that pull of resistance, of not wanting to respond with love, you know? And then I have to check in with myself. So where are you? Better and better. Better and better. And again, let's not lie to ourselves. Let's not do a spiritual bypass, what they call it in our teaching. If you don't feel good, say, I'm not feeling great right now, but I want to feel better and better. That's the beginning. At least you're introducing to your consciousness how you choose to feel. And we have to know that you can feel better and better to move in that direction. If I just said, well, I feel terrible and it's getting worse, and the universe always says yes, what was my prayer that I just, right? Delete, bring it back, take it back, better and better. So what does better and better look like? What does your situation or challenge that you're walking through look like solved? Just to put that in mind, just to know that there is a solution, introduces to your consciousness that there is relief on the way. When you're in the middle of a challenge, wouldn't you love somebody to call and go, relief is on the way. Relief is happening now. And the sooner we can get to that energy in our consciousness and go, you know what? This too shall pass. this too shall pass. It pushes the fast forward button to us getting to being better and better. So, is your glass half empty or half full? Half full? Good. I mean, if it's half full, I can do something with that. You know, I can hydrate myself with that. I can make a little cup of soup out of that, right? I can water a plant with a little half glass. If there's not enough, and the universe always says yes, the universe will dry up that little bit, so quickly. I mean, if you have $20 in your pocket and you're saying, that's all that I have, how can I give if I only have $20 in my life? Well, I would suggest that you give that in a way that will increase that. Give it in love, in a way that tells the universe that you mean business about being prosperous. Give it with love, and it will come back to you in love tenfold. That's the way the universe works. So, are you part of the solution or are you part of the challenge? Again, I say this all the time, but when I look at the common denominator in my challenges in my life, there's one, and that's me. I'm usually the center and circumference of my challenges. And when I know and I move to the arena that if I believe that there's a power that creates worlds and could create a human spacesuit that my soul can walk around in, can't it deal with some of my thumb sketch challenges? Not that our challenges are all thumb sketch, but boy, if we can turn our challenges over to the power that creates worlds, we're part of the healing energy of the universe. And again, this is not to make less of or deny any challenge we may be walking through. It's to look for the light at the end of the tunnel, because it may be you. It may be you who you're looking for. In this teaching, Dr. Ernest Holmes said, what you're looking for, you're looking with. So it's not out there. Clues may be out there, but you go out there and everything says, go within. It's all inside of you. But maybe that's the trip that we're on. Maybe before this plane of existence, we chose to go outside of ourselves in such a way that we would forget completely where we came from, so we could reinvent ourselves and be part of the creative wisdom of the universe and have this awesome experience called life, so we could have lunch together. That's what I think it's all about. But I digress. It's done unto us as we believe. You always demonstrate at the level of your belief. Change your thinking, change your life. And I say change your belief. Change how you are being in life. Belief. Be in life. How are you being in life? Just checking in. Because my default was set to negative, man. I mean, you give me a situation, I could mess it up worse than anybody, I could mess that up. Watch me mess that up. But once I knew that I was in control of the power, that I could mess it up, I could make it great again. Once I took my power back, that it wasn't my girlfriend that did it, it wasn't my parents, it wasn't my siblings, it wasn't my teachers, it wasn't fill in the blank, whatever it may come up for you, it's not their fault. And it's not your fault, it's just what it is. If we can take the energy of fault out of it and respond with love, we start attracting love. We turn the polarity around and we start being that place where good shows up. And when you do that, the universe says, we got a player here. We got a plus instead of a minus. Let's send in the demonstration. Let's send in the answered prayer, because we have someone that believes. It's done unto you as you believe. You always demonstrate the level of your belief. So, What do you believe? What is a belief? A belief is a thought that we have reviewed over and over again, and it's become part of our makeup. You can change that by reinventing the end and reverse engineering it to be prosperity, healing, love. Sometimes we have to go through some stuff, though, to get there. Don't deny the journey if it's challenging. It's just part of the journey. But let's not stay in the challenge. Let's look out the window and enjoy the ride a little bit. You know, if we're on a journey together and we're fighting it the whole way, it's difficult to have a good vacation when you've had a difficult journey getting there. You know what I'm saying? So start enjoying the journey, because you're already on vacation if you're on the journey. Right?
That's right.
Start enjoying the ride. So when you get there, you're already in vacation mode, baby. And why don't we live our life like we're on vacation? Doesn't mean we don't have to work for the things we choose to be, do, and have. It just means we don't struggle with resistance against it. You know, if I find a struggle in my life, I ask it right in the face. This too is good. This too is God, and I demand to see the blessing in this right here and right now. Stomp your foot and ask. Be careful what you ask for when you stomp your foot, because that puts some energy in there. But ask, what is your message? How can I walk through this, learn what I need to learn, and walk on knowing more? Having this in my tool belt of experience so that when this comes up again, I got a tool for that. I know how to handle that. I can call somebody who's been through that will walk me through it when I can't see it for myself. That's what the journey's about. It's time to review a new thought. This teaching is called New Thought. What's the new thought of the day for you? What is, when I first came in, I looked at what I was doing and I knew that the exact opposite was going to be the new thought, because my default was, how challenging can it get? So I knew that since my thinker was broken, that I had to repair it by doing some brainwashing. I literally wash, rinse, and repeat with positive stuff. Brainwashing can be good when you're so attached to being negative that that's all you can think about. And not everybody is. But if my default was set to that, how do I reset my default? How good can it get? We all ask ourselves, how bad can it get? How bad can it get? The universe says, let me show you. How good can it get? What's the best? What's better than the best? Some say they will believe it when they see it. Show me the money. Show me the money, and then, I'll start believing. Because until then, I don't think this stuff works. I don't know what you're talking about up there. I say, and Yoda says, Star Wars, use the Force, Luke. I say, we will see it when we begin to believe it. When you believe it, it is added unto you as you believe. Watch what happens. When a challenge comes my way, I go, you know what? I may not have a clue, but it's going to be really neat how God works this out. It's going to be really neat, which invites that God energy in. Every time we can do that we call upon the power within us, the universe always says yes. Now, it may appear as a no at the beginning because it wants to lead you in a new direction, but just follow it. Just go, if I'm in line with the power that created me, I'm part of the majority here. I'm following the love. Follow the love. So, what do you believe? I'll tell you something about what Dr. Holmes writes about expectancy. Dr. Holmes, the author of the Science of Mind textbook and many other great books, he went through and did this investigation on all religious ideas of the planet and took the thread of truth through them all and wove them together and synthesized it into this philosophy. And he did a lot of work for us so that we don't have to figure it all out. Now, I would encourage you to read a lot of the things he looked into to see how he synthesized it. Investigate. Prove him wrong. I know some people that came into this teaching to prove him wrong, and they're like, can't do it, man. There's some good stuff here. I'm staying because it works. So this is what he writes. We should expect the best, and so live that the best may become a part of our experience. Expectancy speeds progress. So if you want to get, fast forward button through whatever you're walking through, expect the best to come. Because what human beings mean for challenge, God means for good. That's how it works. Therefore, live in a continual state of expectancy, expecting the best. No matter how much good you're experiencing today, expect greater good tomorrow. The tree expects nutrition and sends its roots ever searching expectantly for it. People, on the contrary, think up all the reasons why they cannot get a sufficient supply. Well, let me show you how it doesn't work. And here is why they get in their own way and keep themselves limited. For they keep mind, capital M mind, which would just as readily bring them money, constantly on the job of keeping money away from them because of what they expect. We must change what we believe. So what do you expect? Can you expect the good to become the great? Can you do it? Yeah, we can. How much sunshine can you have on a sunny day? All of it. All of it. It's all yours. It's all yours, as it is all everyone's. You are unique and special, like everybody else. My dad told me that. I was like, yes, I am. We said, like everybody else, like, how special is that? He goes, think about it. We're all on this trip called life, living in these spacesuits. He said, your body is a place where your soul parks itself for an instant in eternity. Man, this is a long instant. Feels that way sometimes, doesn't it? So let's make the best of this instant. Let's make the best this time around. I don't want to look back and go, I wish I would have, and I could have done this, and I think, I want to look back and go, yeah, man, I did it right, man. I saw that situation. I made the best out of it, I made lemonade. Make lemonade. Even if you don't like it, sell it, Come on. Somebody writes you a pink slip somewhere, write a green slip for yourself somewhere else. That just means that's just not your place. That's not your time. That's just directing you to find what is yours. It's not a no, it's a not right now. Seek ye first the kingdom within you, and all things shall be added unto that. Don't get upset and go kick the dog, come on. My dad said, go out and kick the trash can. You're going to get mad, go kick the trash can because you'll hurt your foot. So, expect Today, expect something good to happen to you, no matter what occurred yesterday. Realize the past is no longer holds you captive. It can only continue to hurt you if you hold on to the pain. Let the pain go. A simple, abundant world awaits you. Smallness is what keeps us from being big. We don't know who we are. You are God. You are a creative genius. You got to invent your life. Now, if I was standing up here going, I'm God and you're not, then there's a problem there. You know, some people say, well, it's blasphemy to say you're God. It's blasphemy to say you're not. Who are you not to know that you are the power of the wisdom of the universe that created you? You are the Christ consciousness incarnated. You have the magic and the mysticism of the universe at your fingertips when you know what you are. And that's truly why we're here. So in conclusion, each of us is pregnant with ideas. Men too. You're not kind of pregnant. You're not a little bit pregnant. We all are creative geniuses. What's your favorite color? Maybe you have several. I do. It's your choice. Your choice. And if you want a new one, you can make one up. Purpleistic. It's being realistic about purple. You get to choose what spirituality mode that you choose. Christian, Catholic, Buddhist, whatever. We want to make you the best whatever you want to be. We're not here to convert you. We're here to make you the best of all that you can be. Because when you're the best, you go out into the world and you shine. You shine in such a way that people go, what are you doing in your life? Because you're shining kind of bright. And some people don't like that. And that's okay. They're not ready for your glow. But other people will be attracted to it and say, what are you thinking? What's new about you? And tell them, I found myself. I know who I am now. I'm not afraid anymore. I love who I've become. And I love you on your road to becoming it. Because that's why we're all here. We're each other's angels. You want to see what an angel looks like? You're looking at him right here. We are each other's keepers. So love one another and respond with love. And so it is. Thank you. It's time to follow our teaching. So what we're going to do is we're just going to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on the beautiful candles that abound. And let's bring ourselves to center and remember who we are. So I start by reminding myself of nature, because that is an easy connection, along with our breathing, our breath. I know that there is energy in the trees. Energy that causes the grass to grow and the sun to shine and the wind to blow and the rain to fall. I know that something is spinning this rock that we call our home. And I know that that power that is doing that is breathing my body, is breathing our body, and the body of our affairs. I know that it is beating our heart. And it is the energy that is doing that, all at the same time, that is healing everything that needs the truth of it to happen. Regardless of what its appearance may look like, it's all part of the healing. Something wonderful is happening right now as each one of us. And as we put our conscious awareness on the blessing that each one of us is, that blessing grows. For energy flows where our attention goes. So let us think of love. Love is the very breath that we breathe. It is the bond that keeps us magnetically moving through this thing called life. So I may not know what your challenge is, but I know God knows. I know Christ consciousness knows. I know that the creator of the universe, whatever you choose to call it, is your business. But I think we can agree that something is happening. Something is animating us. And as we send love, love responds. And love comes back in waves. So we allow ourselves to be washed over by that elixir of complete love as it moves through our body and the body of our affairs. It trickles through us and heals every place that needs to be straightened out. Every idea that may have been a little bit off is now drawn to the center of wholeness. So we allow that healing energy to reveal the truth in and as each one of us in our own way, at our own time, so that we may be that living, loving consciousness of the Creator itself expressing. So I say yes. And I say thank you. Thank you, divine, loving energy of the universe, for this time, for the ability to know, and to know that we know in such a way that draws in the love, the peace and the harmony that allows us to express in ways we may have not even thought of. So we let go, placing these words directly into that living, loving law of God. Placing it directly into God itself, where it does the healing, it does the revealing, and a miracle is demonstrated because of our desire to know. We just need to love. So we let go in that love. Knowing it is already so, we affirm it together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Okay.